How do I feel about the labels? Well, this is what I say. How do I feel about, actually, let's just say it the way that I feel that it is. The African's pain is the world's entertainment. You know, whether it's pimping, whoring, drug dealing, us fighting amongst each other. You know, if you even look at slavery and how they used to fight the two strongest black men, like that was always entertainment. The thing that I think that people have to understand is that white supremacy pays. I think if we understood that, we would look at the way that the world plays us against each other a little bit different. You know, when black people usually talk to black people, we usually try to find a way to play on our emotions. It's the right thing to do. You know, you gotta give back to the neighborhood. You this, that, and the other. But if you notice, if you cut your hair, you fall in line, you don't say certain things, white people usually take care of you, or the system will usually take care of you. You act like a stalk raving nigga or a super sellout. Those are usually the two people who are at the opposite ends of the spectrum who usually get the most. So if we understood that like a lot of these kids, when they do music, they trying to get out the hood. So they're trying to do the most effective thing that they can do in order to get money. I watched this interview that Cardi B did one time, and people were really coming down on what she said, but I don't think they understood what she meant. She was basically saying like, dude, when I try to do better music, y'all don't buy it. But when I do this type of music, y'all buy it. So what you want me to do? And it's like people on the side always say, well, you should do better, but you don't support it. I gave an example with Oprah Winfrey the day that she had that show when she was just crucifying rappers and crucifying rap, but it was her birthday. And hardly nobody noticed when they showed her, and that's when 50 Cent in the Club was out. That same night, she was shaking her ass. I'm talking about, I didn't even know Oprah Winfrey had it like that. She from Mississippi, so I know she got some soul in her, so she was just bouncing that ass to 50 Cent that night. But you sat in front of the whole world and crucified us. But when you had a choice at your own party, what was going to be played, that's what you played, what the people wanted to hear the most and what they reacted to the most. So for me, it's a conundrum because they do play on the animalistic sides of human beings. Human beings, the first thing that God put us on this world, on this planet to do was survive, then procreate. A lot of times they pit us, they know that, so they pit us towards, against each other to do that. If a kid know, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I still do music, is I try to give people options. I'm successful, even though I know I do something similar, but I think in a different way. I'm successful. I make my money in a lot of different ways. But when kids see me, all they see is success. And since what most of them know me for is rap, then they're gonna almost figure that I got that money or that success from being that way, and then they see the music that I put out, maybe that'll make them believe that it's possible for you to do something that is not detrimental to our people. And the thing that I want to be 100% clear about is I'm not even criticizing the kids that do that, because I know what's pulling the strings above them, and who am I to judge when that's why I'm sitting in front of you now. You know, I was in a group called Crooked Letters. We didn't do but 17,000 copies, you know, doing what people say is positive. Like, one of the conversations I had this morning, and it's something that we're gonna all have to do, is we're gonna have to also put a level of responsibility on the everyday, average, ordinary person. Because the truth is, I don't care how great of a leader you are, you're gonna be judged by your ability to make the everyday, average person react. So no matter what you put out, no matter what you do as a leader, if the people are not following suit, then you're a failure. No matter how great of a thinker you are, no matter how great your plan was, everybody's gonna have to play into this. Every black person that I speak to, every person that say that they are a comrade of our race and our people, they're gonna have to add into it. Because like I said before, white people are always gonna be who they are. They don't care about, if you look at those old, if you look at history and the way that white people would position their families. Hey, you go over here and marry this motherfucker so we can make the family more powerful. No matter if they beat you, whatever they do to you, you're just a piece on a chessboard. I talked about how if you look at, and this is, I actually got this by watching a pet one time. I thought about the concept of having a pet and how savage that is. Like, think about it from a European standpoint. I'm gonna put you in this cage until I feel like acknowledging your existence. But if you look at Native Americans, if you look at Africans, if you look at any indigenous people, usually the way that they had pets was between, it was a relationship. So if I keep feeding this motherfucking bird and this bird is safe around me, it can fly all around the world and not be in a cage. It's gonna come back to me because of the way that I treat it. Not because I psychologically broke them, or not because I put them in a cage or I beat the shit out of them. No, whether it was a dog or a wolf, maybe with the exception of a horse, only because that was used as transportation. But past that, every other relationship with an animal, it was reciprocal. You brought some things to the table, you delivered messages or let me know when the enemies are coming or whatever that may end up being, and I'm gonna take care of you, we people. We're part of an ecosystem. So until we find a way I even thought about this, like, even if we can collect all the fans that really do like positive music, and then somebody went and signed all the artists that are doing great so-called positive music, because I don't think music should be all the way positive or negative, because life isn't positive or negative. It just needs to be balanced. And we provided a place for them kids to make money and stop sending these folks to these white folk. When white people send their children to college, you think they're sending them to David Banner to work? We spend all our money sending our kids to college, and then we send them to white folks to work, and then wonder why they don't come back to our communities, wonder why they don't marry our daughters and our sons. That's partially the everyday, ordinary man's fault, including myself.